Welcome back to the Keri Croft Show. In this episode, I sit down with Tracy Showalter. This type A Spitfire is a mom to Hazel, Olive, and Shep, wife to Mark, and just like that, she's added entrepreneur to her already impressive resume. During this episode, Tracy and I break the seal with a little fireball, and then we go deep about all things Tracy. Her new business venture, the LightHouse Co., her childhood, her struggles, and so much more. This conversation was a lot of fun for me, and I'm pretty confident that Tracy's words will have a lasting impact on someone out there. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the Keri Croft Show. Tracy Showalter.
Hi.
Hi, welcome to the Keri Croft Show.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm great. I brought you something.
What is it? Let's just start off with gifts. You've trumped every gift so far. No one's brought me a gift.
Yeah, fuck all those people.
Yeah, right?
Okay. This is something near and dear to my heart.
Okay.
And I don't know if you're going to like it, but I'm going to make you.
I will love it.
It's not this.
Oh, it's not your used hairbrush?
My kid. Oh my God, Paw Patrol watch. Mom life.
We're off to a really good start.
This is so on brand.
Okay. Oh my God.
Do it with me.
Okay. All right.
Come on, let's fucking go.
Fireball. I mean, how could I possibly?
Every person out there that knows me, all of my clients right now, they're like, of course.
You know what? Every guest
brand.
now is going to have to one up this.
They better.
What if I choke and die?
Good luck, guests. Cheers.
Cheers.
Congrats on your podcast.
It's like riding a bike.
Is anything better
I mean,
than a shot of
God,
warm?
it's amazing. Thank you.
Warms up your body from the inside out.
But you don't. Now we're going to have to go to like Red Door Tavern.
Okay. Is Larry still bartending over there?
Let's hope so. Hi, Larry.
A radiologist now.
Shout out to Larry.
Shout out, Larry.
Served me many a Mick Ultra.
Overserved.
So Tracy.
Yeah.
We've met probably, when did we meet? I would think 8 years ago?
10
years ago.
Thanks for remembering.
Because you were in the old garage.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Old garage. Loved it. I mean, so I was a competitive ultra runner, and I'm thinking, there's no gym that can tame this beast. It doesn't matter. They can't. And I remember calling, and this voice that I will never forget, Gretchen DeSalle, answers. And I'm like, hi, I'm a badass bitch. Like, is your gym good enough for me? Type of like whatever my ego was back then. And she's like, yeah, I think, it'll be pretty good. I'm like, okay, whatever. Walked in, got my ass handed to me. It was a Matt Wyan control course. And I was like engaged and getting ready to be married. I didn't know anything about Darcy, but I was like, I'm going to marry that guy. Hey, Matt. And I mean, I was hooked. And then I started bringing everybody. And then one day, Margot needed a yoga sub, and I'm a yoga teacher. So I started teaching yoga, and the rest is history. Here we are 10 years later. I was there at the 5:30 this morning.
Were you?
Yeah.
Now I'm jealous.
Dude, you don't miss a workout.
I had to miss a workout this morning. I had a business meeting.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so we've known each other for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I've always, adored you. You have an electrifying energy, which we will talk about because you're like a fucking spark plug. Okay, we need to know like what is behind this. Is this natural? Is this nature's Adderall? What's happening? And that's amazing. And you have a very larger than life personality, which I adore. But what I'd love to spend some time on today is to talk about how Tracy, who's a mom of 3 kids who are very young.
Very young.
And you had them very close together.
Trauma.
Talk about the ages real quick. What are the ages? Hazel.
8.
Olive.
6.
Shep dog.
4.
Okay.
Last week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah, which is also amazing, right? So for a lot of people out there to look at you from afar, to say, wow, this mom of 3 young kids just launched a business. Not only did she just launch a business, she like came out swinging and she's making it happen. Because I think what happens is a lot of people stop themselves from, well, I have this idea or this thing inside of me that's lighting me up inside, but I have 3 kids, or I have too much debt, or I'm not good enough. So this resistance we create in our head stops us. And then someone like you comes out of the gate and it makes people look at themselves and say, wait a minute, she did that, right? So I think, so what I'd like to do for people out there is just to get real about how all of this happened. So my first question for you is, when was the idea born for LightHouse? When did that moment happen?
Such a great question. So backwards, like I backed into it, if that makes sense. It's always been inside of me, and I never thought I could turn it into a business, but I was in medical sales my whole career. I quit my job after my third. I tested it for a little with him in daycare, but 3 kids in daycare was quit. 6 months later, the world shut down. And what happened was my control issues, my own OCD, a lot of the way I was raised from a military father, I felt so out of control at home. Like the walls were caving in on me, in a sense. I have these 3 little kids. We're stuck at home. My husband's working from home. I want to kill him. Like everything just, and all of my rage turned into cleaning. It was like rage cleaning, anxiety cleaning, organizing obsessively. And what happened was I would post about it and people were like, I mean, I've never had so many DMs in my life. I'm like, damn, my kids are pretty cute, but they don't even get this much attention.
Right.
And people are like, wait, how did you do that? And what? And again, I simply thought, I was so naive. I thought everybody did it too. And it kind of blew me away. I thought, oh, okay, so nobody knows how to do this. And I would just shoot off some information. Okay, but can you come over to my house and show me? So my own just curiosity in a house and how to go deeper into machines or cleaning. And then years of that came out onto Instagram. And I just picked 5 of the DMs and spent 1 week towards the end of 2020 gifting. I thought that would be it. I'm coming into 5 houses, whatever you want. Like I will be your bitch. And I was in, cleaning refrigerators and showing them how to take them apart and washing machine filters, organizing pantries, helping them declutter. And they were just so appreciative and grateful. You could visibly see the weight lift off of them, like their shoulders went down. And every single one of them, 5 days, 5 houses, 5 different people, they all were texting me, within the next week and just saying, gosh, I feel so much lighter. Mm-hmm. Like these people don't even know each other. And I'm like, huh. And then you have to do this for other people. That was where the fear was driving me. I was the person you were describing at the beginning. I can't do this. I have 3 little kids. How would I ever make this work? How would I ever? And we went to Florida on the way back. I had a 14-hour drive to really think about it. And I did. And I said, fuck it, let's go. And on January we got home from Florida January 4th, January 7th. I made some generic post, the LightHouse Co. My brother helped me name it. He's an amazing entrepreneur. And damn, the rest is massive history.
So my next question, which you just about Jason.
Yeah.
And he and I don't know each other. I think we met briefly at Hudson, but he's going to be on my show someday.
I was like, oh,
he'll be on my show someday.
Second gift, quick. Second gift, and I'm wearing them. I'm like Rage Against the Machine
and
socks.
It's Jack. What's the name of his?
Jack Threads.
Jack Threads.
Jack is our grandfather.
Okay. So my question was going to be, before I even brought him up, how influential was Jason? Was he like, Trace, you got to do this? And I also wanted to know how you came up with the name. So this basically answers that question, because it's a brilliant name.
Brilliant.
So simple, but yet okay. And I love the logo.
So good.
The logo's so good. Did he do that too?
No, he did not.
Did you do that?
No, one of my girlfriends who used to do freelance design, it took her 5 seconds.
She really good.
Genius. I said, you need to freelance, but.
I'm very hard on logos. Yeah. And when I was doing our lowdown, I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So shout out to your friend, whoever that is. Who is it?
Yeah. Her name is Sharisa, and she's a babe.
Sharisa.
She lives right there. You all know her. Actually, no, she just moved.
All right. So Jason was like, was he your biggest supporter to say, move forward, you need to do this, you're onto something?
So we are very close. We are real. So his whole thing was, yes, start it, but just be very aware that your commodity is your time. And that runs out really quickly. Me, naive baby sister. I'm like,
I can do it all.
I can do it all. And raise these kids and do the house. And nobody's going to care that much. Like my time, I've got plenty of time to help all these people. And yeah, 6 months later, I was calling him crying. I'm like, oh my God, there's so many clients.
But you know, the thing about what's great about that is there are so many people out there like Abby Underman who she's cut from that cloth. And all you have to do is be a connector like you are to say, oh, wait, Abby, are you looking for something else? And she's like, oh, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
So you just have to be able to have that skill set to find those people that you trust with your baby.
My fourth baby. You're right. There are so many people. But what I will say about that, there's so many people cut from that cloth and they can do it at their own house. But the amount of shadows that we have brought on and those people, I mean, I would have a team of 30 by now if I kept all the shadows. And the only person that has made the cut, if you will, is Abby. And she was referred to me. I've known of her and we would say hi at the gym. SOS is like the greatest connector. I was at a client's house and the mother-in-law was babysitting. And I was underneath a sink or in a dark basement. And the mother-in-law, you know who you need to reach out to is Abby Underman. And I popped up. I'm thinking, I know Abby Underman. And it was very organic. I saw her the next week. Our kids played baseball against each other. We chatted. And then, you know, it was a long process before she actually came on.
You know what I think is great about your model, though? And this is coming from someone who's had a small business for a decade, so I can look back. And even though what we do is very different, but you have the ability to be very selective. Now, with your clients, right? You can charge a premium because what you're doing is premium shit.
Yes.
And you can grow at the pace with which you're comfortable. What happens with new entrepreneurs is you get your nipples so hard because people fucking like you and they like what you're doing. And so anyone and everyone who's liking your shit, you get so seduced by that shot of dopamine that you want to take it all on. I think the smart thing for you is like, okay, hold on a minute. Like I'm providing a solution here. I got this. I'm going to take on certain clients that feel right. And I'm going to grow at the pace with which I can find the Abby Undermans, you know?
Amidst all of the pressure, everyone's like, write the book, be on the, 4 months in, I had a television production company coming to me and I signed on for a little bit to be on a non-disclosure, non-compete type of thing. And then I got out of it because I thought, okay, that is too much, too soon. I don't even know if my family would be interested. And everybody's like, be on TV, do the thing, write the book, and I'm just thinking, what I wanted to do right now is be in houses. And so I know you all want me to grow and be huge and whatever, but my husband's schedule is grueling. And so when I say I am a single mom, so my kids wake up early, 5 to 8, I'm a single mom, usually, 2:50, I pick them up, 2:50 till bedtime, I'm a single mom. I mean, we got home from vacation Monday. I've been a single mom ever since my husband got home this morning. I can't do it all. And my kids deserve present mom when I'm there so I can grow at the capacity that I want, that I'm comfortable with. And I say no to plenty of clients. We're not taking everybody on.
Good.
Not every employee, not every client. We are selective.
And I think that's, not that you asked for my advice, but if I were to give you any piece of advice, it's like rock that because people will pay for that because it is something that for me, if your closets are cluttered, if things don't feel clean in your home, it's not okay. Like you have a feeling and you're right. If somebody can come in, not only get you reset, but then give you kind of some tools to move forward, that's worth that's a value add big time.
And I think the biggest takeaway from what you just said is we also aim to educate. Like a lighthouse is a light that shines out into the sea to guide you home. Like a huge component of the name, the brand, the company. We want to guide you. We want you to be able to do this on your own. Certainly, if you fall, we are here to catch you, to do a reset. We have plenty of repeat clients. But if you just want a taste of the motivation, of the education behind it, we will give that to you and watch you fly.
Yeah.
So that's a big part of what we're doing also. Like, I want you to do this for yourself, teach your kids, help your friends.
What would you, because you've only been doing this officially for what, less than 2 years? So for that person at home listening to this right now, who's fighting that resistance of, I feel like I've got something special, but why me, not me? You know, they're going through that internal battle. What would you say has been easier than what you thought? So, you know, all of a sudden you're in your car, people are DMing you, and what's been harder than what you thought? So let's start with like, what would you tell them that like, hey, this really wasn't as hard as what I thought? What part?
Acquiring clients. So the fear-driven me thought, and I said to my brother, nobody's going to care, my time, you know, and then I'm like bombarded because I put me and myself out there and clients came running. I mean, don't get me wrong. My first couple days, my very first day, I got a hard no from somebody that I know, we know. It was a slap in the face. I went back and negotiated. She said no again. I went a third time. She said, nope, hard no. And I remember thinking, I'm deleting my Instagram account. And then after that, I adjusted and we flew. And then she came back and hired me 6 months later.
There you go. There you go.
But again, so it became easy. And then you help one person in a very purposeful, thoughtful, impactful way. And they tell someone, and then, I mean, clients were just rolling. The hardest part for me personally has been the beast of social media. I fucking hate it. I am not great at it. It's not my forte. I have to spend so much time there. And I have tried to relinquish control of that. I am a control freak to no one's surprise. I've tried to relinquish control on what happened. Nobody knows this right now. This is breaking news exclusive on the Keri Croft. Nobody knows this. So Instagram stopped, put me in prison April 19th of last year. They don't show my shit to anyone. I had a double community guidelines bullshit violation. So like in the first year I grew, I was like 6,000, like it was insane. I have not grown since because they don't show me to anyone. Doesn't matter what I do. And I'm still here working my ass off. It's almost been a year with nothing, no views, no, you know what I'm saying?
Do they officially say you're in jail?
Yeah. I'm in a community.
What did you do?
Like on your account stat? Well, that was my relinquishing control. I had someone working for me doing some social media. A post went out. They didn't like it. They removed it. And then like, I think you can try to do a support ticket or
it's not
rectify
easy.
Whatever.
You don't want to talk to Instagram.
And
it's
then
not
you
easy.
did that and then they did it again. So I got this huge, and they say they lift it after a year. So like April 19th, not that I'm counting the days, it should be lifted. But again, it's like, not only do I just loathe social media, but now all the work that I put into it, and it's not something I'm good at. It does not come naturally to me. It's very vulnerable and foreign and awkward. It's not going anywhere, which part of that is okay because I'm still learning. I'm like kind of testing certain things, but yeah, that's been the hardest for sure.
You know what? I think about this a lot with social media too. But first, are you on TikTok?
Okay. I am, but I don't understand it. But like my clients who flew me down to Florida last summer, they have 5 million followers.
Okay.
And they're like trying to school me on TikTok.
Well, what I was going to say is I understand social media is the path. I mean, it's very important. I'm not minimizing that. But let's just pretend like social media went away tomorrow, you would still be running a business and operating a business. So I feel like while social media is a huge lane for people and it's opened up so many doors and will continue to, it's okay to have your business and not lean so heavily on all of that. Especially, I mean, I know you're traveling all over the country with people, but the word of mouth for you, don't ever underestimate that.
It's huge.
Don't ever underestimate that.
It's huge.
You know what I mean?
But that's also what's around the country too. It's
I know.
like,
we give social media so much power. And again, I appreciate you, social media. And here's your lane, and it's a wide one. But I can also survive over here doing what I'm doing. People did it for a really long time without you.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I just feel like you kind of have to take that with a grain of social.
Sometimes I just wish it wasn't here.
But you really are naturally good at it. So you have to take that in the win column, because a lot of people are awkward and they try really hard to present themselves in front of the camera and do creative things, and it does not hit. So you have that natural je ne sais quoi, if you will. So
sometimes I do shit and I'm like, oh, that's so awkward. But like, I'm an awkward soul. Like I have a lot of social anxiety, social awkwardness. So, I mean, that's just who I am regardless.
Yeah.
And I was born with a lot of energy. I'm a Leo for life. So like all of that, I think sometimes comes out and people are like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
the two people that see it.
So you've lobbed me 2 softballs now, so I'm going to have to swing.
The
first softball you lobbed me was you're a control freak.
Yeah.
And the second one is that you have social anxiety. So let's talk about, Tracy, what makes you this controlling, not only controlling deep type A, but like this spitfire where like if you see Tracy Showalter at the grocery, at the soccer field, at daycare pickup, Tracy's on. Like you're always on. But the question could be, are you genuine? Are you authentic? My answer, because I know you, is yeah. I think if you were really having a bad or wanted to share something with me, you'd be like, God, I'm fucked.
I do.
But for people from afar, how can someone be so throttled and dialed in all the time? So talk about that. That's a lot to peel back.
That's an onion. I love onions.
That's a layer.
That's a layer.
We want to get into that layer.
Make out with me right now.
Okay.
Is that the fireball?
Do you have another fireball in your purse?
Wait, what was the question? No, I'm just kidding. So the methodical, controlled Tracy is what you're asking about.
Well, let's do that first.
Yeah. It all stems from being a child who had zero control, right? So now that I can have control, I want it all. Military. So West Point Military Academy, my father. And he was an Army Ranger. And my parents got married very young. My dad had a very troubled childhood, didn't know how to raise kids. I mean, I'm not saying that we know how to raise kids
either. Sidebar. Who does?
Right? I know. I was like, very young and had 2 kids within 2 years. With the military background, came out, we grew up overseas, came back, and I think Jay and I were 5 and 7 when we came back from Germany. And my dad got out of the military, did his 5 years, and said, I just want to kind of be a cop and do nothing. So we moved to Medina, Ohio. My dad's a cop. Stressful job. And stressful to have change for him. And my parents split up. And for a year, we were kind of just like floating through the air. And I remember like, I'm in this house and now I'm out of this house. And then a year later, they got back to, okay, so now I'm back in this house. And like in the midst of it, there's no real emotions. This is just like, this is what it is. And okay, so my parents get back together. Sure. You're like, oh, okay, now I'm back in the house on West Homestead. Okay. That my mom kept and, we would visit. And they're married to this day, 41 years. Like they never officially divorced. Anyway, just being a kid, the amount of control my father had on me. I won't speak for Jay. So Dane, let's say Dane gets a cold and he sniffles. My dad, in your face, finger screaming at you, get a tissue. Like you couldn't move. I mean, paralyzed. You couldn't move. You had to, there's a book called The Long Gray Line. It's about West Point plebes, which is like your first year at West Point. You had to hold your fork at a 90-degree angle at the dinner table. I mean, the rules were, at the time I didn't know. I'm like, oh, this is just, but like the inner child and me working through all this stuff and counseling and therapy now. And I'm not saying they're bad parents, just now that I'm a mom, I look at it differently. So it's like that type of control. If I said one thing, I was grounded for a month. A lot of like lonely times, a lot of I was grounded, being told I'm a bad kid. We were, I was hit with, you called it the board. So just very controlled. And now I'm like, oh, I'm free to do whatever I want, and I'm going to control the shit out of it.
Do you find yourself with your kids ever trying to control them? Or do you, when you feel that, are you like, whoa, and then you go the opposite way? Or how do you handle that inevitable natural cycle that kind of hits you?
It is so inevitable, right? And even with clients, I'm like, if your parent's a hoarder, like you break the chain or you are the chain. That's what I struggle with.
That's actually a good way to say it.
I go so against the chain. My dad had a troubled childhood. He kind of kept the chain and did what he knew, how he knew to do it best. I so badly want, and I'm working on breaking that chain, allowing my children to honor and feel their emotions. But I'm not perfect at it. Nobody is. I have my moments, but I mean, I strive, like that is what I work on so hard because I do not want them to experience what I had.
Yeah.
So that's probably like the hardest piece for me. You see the example and then that is just gold standard, you think, but you're in that house for 18 years. And again, having children, I had this mass awakening. Like, oh, okay, so now I have the opportunity to do it differently and I have a desire to do it differently and I want to so badly for them. And that is a huge piece of my driving force behind going to counseling and going to therapy and just trying to like get on their level and be there for them.
Yeah. Let's go back to the board because when you and I were talking about the board the other day, it got me a thinking.
Yeah.
So my mom had a board, okay? And it was a paddle board. And I think, again, no shame to the parents circa, whatever, 80s. Yeah. That's what they did. That was whatever, self-help bullshit was out there. It was like, you need to paddle your kid, right? Yeah. But listen to this. It brought me back to some memories. So my brother, Casey's 14 months younger than me. And I remember he'd get chased around with the paddle. He'd be crying.
That's me.
Well, okay, but listen to what I would do. And this wouldn't surprise you, right? This bitch, I'm like, Mom, you're not going to get the best of my ass, right? So if she wanted to, I wouldn't run. I would stick that butt cheek out and I'd be like, how much you got? But then the psychology of it, I don't think it was as fun for her because she probably couldn't hit hard enough to hit this booty. Yeah, Casey, you're out there. You used to run around like you used to be like, no. And I'm like,
Casey,
bring it on.
Casey, I see you. You are valued.
But the paddle, and again, it's not a proper way. I think we all understand that to like spank or hit. I mean, it's just, in my opinion, it's not the great way to parent. But I'm not faulting my mom because she didn't know, that was what she thought at the time.
Yeah.
When you know better, you do better.
Yeah. And like, if you don't know better, I'm going to beat that ass.
That's going to beat that ass. You know what I mean?
Like there was a picture of two little kids, like a boy and a girl, bent over a fence, like on, like with a sheen on, like it was placed there. And like he would make these tally marks every time he hit us.
Now the tally mark thing I'm going to say is a little bit different. Like I don't know about the tally mark.
And like I would run in there and like make Jays more than me because I'm like, he's going to win this. Like I'm not as bad as they all tell me I am.
But I just wondered like, where did your dad come up with the tally mark or was that something he saw?
I don't know because nobody wants to talk about it. I can't talk about this to this day. Like my family's going to listen to this and they probably won't talk to me for a year, which is normal. But
hey, come on, fam.
Come on, fam.
You know what I'm saying? Come on, fam.
Come on, Mom, Dad, I love you.
So Mark, your sweet Mark Showalter, whom I just adore.
Everyone wants to marry Mark.
Hi, Mark. They do really want to marry Mark. Just like with Brady, right? People look at our relationship from afar and they probably think, man, he's got to be able to acquiesce to things. I mean, she's a strong bitch. I think that's probably the same. The optics are probably the same. Like, does Mark go along with, or is your parenting style totally parallel, or were there things you had to sort of, kind of round out each other's edges, or where was that? Like, what's that look like?
We could not be more different, but because I wear the pants in the relationship, I try so hard. He's so busy with work and I get that. So like I try to do most of the parenting, and then like him and I, when we chat, hey, I think maybe we should try this, we should try that. Because again, I'm the default parent 7 days a week. And we're estranged from his family. So I've lack of, if any, zero respect for that and how they raised. And that's a whole nother podcast episode. And even with the shortcomings and, the light trauma that I feel my childhood was, I still think boundaries were present and super important, and consistency. And so we struggle there, but I really try to make us a team when we are parenting. And it's hard. I mean, 3 kids so close together, the different genders, the different personalities. It's really hard. The other crazy thing, when Mark does lose his temper with the kids, the inner child in me, I'm so triggered. I am like, oh my gosh, like, oh, was that my dad? Like I shudder almost. And I go into protective mode for my kids. And I mean, Mark's not scary at all. Like he's not, but there's just something deep, deep inside of me that's still there. That's like,
Well, I guess my question for that is though, because I appreciate the trigger and I appreciate your inner child being for you like right here. But for Mark, he's just trying to discipline his kids today in the present. So do you have the wherewithal to buffer yourself and go, Trace, this isn't, you as a child and your dad, this is Mark, and respecting him being able to just discipline his kids. Is that hard for you, or do you just reflexively react to him?
I am guilty of being a reactor.
Yeah, guilty. Okay, because that has to be hard for him, because just like anything with anybody's baggage, and this just in, when you get married, you marry the baggage, and you yourself, you have baggage too.
Yep.
But this is an example of you're trying to do your best and you think you're doing your best, but sometimes when you pull the past too much into your present, then that other person is like, what the? Like, now I'm living in your past. I'm just trying to be a dad. You hear that, Mark? You like that? I'm not going to charge you for that.
Yeah, it is a struggle. And then when we're so good and we're on the same page as parenting, it's amazing. I think too, I overcompensate. I'm guilty of overcompensating because I'm there. I'm with them, 6 days a week. He's there with them 1. I overcompensate and I'm like, I got this. I control the situation like I control your closet and your house and, just all of that control in me. And again, I'm working on it. I go to a lot of counseling and I go deep, and I'm trying to work on it. It's hardwired.
Oh, I understand that.
Yeah.
So let's move on next to the food, because you're also very controlled with food. And I wanted to kick your ass when you tried to you did get me to do Whole30.
I did.
And I wanted to punch you because I want to be that way.
Yeah.
I want to be able to, and I'm not terrible. Like I've got my own system and my own things, but I always look at someone like you where I feel like you're never eating anything that's not completely wholesome. And I'm like, damn it, why don't you want the cookie?
Yeah.
Because I do all that so I can have the cookie.
Yeah.
Is the food just like, it's like how you do one thing is how you do everything? Or is there another twist or layer to that engine?
You're Howard Stern. These are
I
great
am.
questions.
No, we're going to call me Harriet Stern.
I'm telling you right now, and this just happened in California. Our hosts were making, a pie, and I'm like, I don't like sweets. I'm just going to call. I don't like sweets.
That's that podcast over. It's over. We're done. We're done here.
Is anybody still here? Tap tap. I don't. And my mom loves sweets. She's like, how are you, my kid? But let me go back. So I would eat whatever the hell I wanted and do whatever I wanted and whatever. And I had a very, very, he told me it was like the most severe case of endometriosis he's ever seen. I had a surgery. I was told I could never have children. This was in 2008, I believe, and I was living in a different city. My OB here now is unreal. But so I'm sitting there carrying this burden around, and I didn't think about it too terribly because I was in a marriage. That marriage ended. I didn't care about having children. I didn't care about being in a relationship, getting married again. And so years went by, and then when I did meet Mark, I actually told him, I don't want kids. I don't want to be married. He was like, bye. But he was too cute, so I came back. But what turned out is he went to ask my dad for my hand in marriage. And my dad was like, she's broken. She, what if she can't have children for you? And, Mark was like, we'll figure it out. We can adopt or whatever. Because, I am carrying this around. I'm like, I cannot have children. I was told this will never happen. And so we were serious. We got engaged and we were getting married in May. That January, I went off birth control and I changed everything about my lifestyle. I stopped drinking. I stopped eating shit. I went like raw, Whole30. That's when I started the journey. And I thought I was so healthy because I could run these 50-mile races, 50Ks, marathons every 2 weeks. I knew it. And I was so healthy. And that started, and I'm not a person that weighs myself. I tell everybody, I'm like, get that damn scale out of your house. Like you're going to drive yourself nuts. And I would weigh myself, and I was always 150, 152. And I'm not even starting this thinking I'm going to lose weight. I'm just thinking I'm going to give my body the best chance possible to have children with this amazing man. And that's when my healthy food journey started. And that's the Tracy that you know. And I dropped like 30 pounds. I think I was 116 at my wedding. Like what? Never the choice. And then when I stopped, I still do it sporadically, but I love wine.
What are the food vices? Let's just for the people out there we got to win people back again.
I mean, if I am like, don't get me wrong, I'll eat a Lion Cubs cookie. Uncle Brad, I love you.
Okay.
Like I will eat cheeseburgers and French fries, and I love ranch and whatever. I just don't like sweets.
Yeah.
That's it. I like a big steak, put all the butter on it. I'm more savory.
Okay,
you are
savory.
A bitch doesn't like chocolate. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I will allow
but
this.
I will
for
drink you under the table while you're eating your chocolate chip
This is
cookie.
where I can kind of like I can be okay with it.
I'm back, baby.
Okay, so speaking of being savory, like you strike me. So certain people I don't know if you've done this before, but when you see couples, do you picture them having sex?
All the time.
Okay.
I'm picturing you and Brady boning right now.
What is it? Is like on the scale of 1 to 10, is it hot? Is it awkward? Like what's the...
Pretty boring.
Okay. So, and a lot of people be like, oh my God, I can't, we all do it, right? We all totally do it. So,
I have 3 children. I picture more than 3.
I picture you being like a good in bed. Like, I feel like if you made Mark upset, I feel like you could make it all right again by just
I could make him
getting after it with him. Is my vibe?
You kidding me? I mean, I could look at his D and he's like, it's forgiven. It's fine.
But I feel like you're a spark plug and that you would be the same way in the sack.
Yeah.
Am I overestimating you?
No, you are absolutely not. I'm like, hey, mom and dad. Hey, Jay. Hey, brother.
They're already not talking to you, so it's fine. Don't worry about your parents.
They won't talk. They won't hear that.
We're good. Yeah. So clearly,
when
I figured out how to make you awkward, which is a win for me.
When the bed's a knocking, what's it say when the beds are rocking? Don't come a knocking. It gets a little crazy.
That's what I thought. I knew it. You little, wait till we turn off record. Okay, so this is a great way to move into your personality in general. So somebody sees you from afar. You're like, hi, how are you? Da-da-da. So do you put that on all the time? Is that part of your, we all have our armor.
Yeah.
So even if you're feeling real low, your default is to be like, I'm awesome.
Well, I am going to defend myself. I don't think I do that. Like, if I'm having a bad day, you will know it. If, I'm stressed out or something's going on, you will know it. Majority of the time, I'm like, but like, I'll show up to pick up my kids at school and I'm just standing there like resting bitch face. And I don't give a fuck. I don't care what you think. Like I'm over the days of caring what anybody else thinks. I'm like, that's just what I am. Or like I'll show up with my AirPods in and like people will say hi. I don't know. I can't hear you. You don't know that I can't hear you, but like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm there to do a job. It's transaction. I'm going to pick up my kids, whatever. I'm going to go to the grocery store. I'm there to do a job. And I have just gone so much deeper in.
Mm-hmm.
And so like, if I see you, I'm like, hey, cool. That's me. I'm not like, oh my gosh, I have to do this. I naturally do. I have a bubbly personality. Like my mom is very bubbly. I'm a Leo. It's inside of me. I mean, if you know a Leo, gets game on.
Yeah.
But like underneath me, I'm like Taurus moon and Taurus rising. And so I have a lot of like chill, earthy undertones, if you're into astrology.
That makes sense to me.
But like the sunshine, the lion, all of that is like my go-to.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is very authentic. But yeah, if I'm struggling with something, it's written all over my face.
Mentally, are you more of an even keel or do you feel lots of anxiety? Do you feel depression frequently, infrequently, never? Like what's going on between here most of the time?
Crippling anxiety.
Which let's take a minute for this.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, I don't like social media, and which your people from the outside, like you really naturally look good at it. I have crippling anxiety. You're the last person anyone would think would have crippling anxiety. It's important to point that out.
I try to, as much as I can, I don't just walk around with clients and be like, hey, my name is Tracy. I have crippling anxiety. Nice to meet you. Anytime it's brought up, if they're like, oh, well, I struggle with this, I'm always there to say, hey, I struggle too. My struggle might look different, but I'm also struggling. I struggle with a lot of things. I believe that my anxiety has gotten heightened. I mean, I had 3 children in 4 years to date. A lot of change rapidly. I blinked. I'm like, oh, you can't have children. And I blinked and I had 3. What the hell do I do with that? And no help, really. I still feel like I have postpartum depression. I'm pretty open about it on social. I just posted something about our vacation. I mean, I was in a dark place all of January. Just massive depression. And I'm sure I've had depression before, like when I went through my divorce and, those really dark times. But January was really hard for me. Because I wasn't raised speaking about emotion. I'm a stuffer, as my counselor calls me. I stuff everything down. A lot of it came out in January. And so I think there was depression layered with anxiety, and it was really hard.
What was the breaking point in January?
Mark was gone almost the entire month. And so it's like 3-on-1 me with the kids, and I'm, still working. And then I have to find any sliver of time for myself. My kids get up really early, so I'm trying to manage it all. Manage the house, manage the kids, manage my clients, manage my employee, manage the social media and the billing and the so that was a lot. And finally, I just broke down to Mark. I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do this. And I would call friends. I'm like, oh my God. And it's like nothing happened to me. Anybody would kill to have that life. That's what I think too. There's almost a shame surrounding that because people are like, look what you have. Mm-hmm. Like this is this amazing, beautiful house and these 3 healthy, beautiful kids and this hot ass husband. And, and he's away working at a great job. Like, shut up. So then you stuff even more. You're like, okay, I'm not allowed to feel this way. I felt that way. And it sucked. And I'm calling my friends. I'm like, I don't feel like lack of sleep tired. I just feel life tired. And it sucked. And then we went on this vacation and I was able to just really pull myself together, have a little bit of perspective, step away from the beautiful life that we've created and appreciate it again. And I felt like my cup was completely refilled and I feel so much better now. But I also know that those moments are specifically curated to help us grow and to help other people who feel the same way. I had so many, this is what a lot of people don't see. Sure, my social media, you can see comments or whatever. The amount of private DMs I get from people, that's the hot ticket item right there. Like that's the impactful, rewarding, most supportive place because so many people that the world can't see. I feel the exact same way. Oh my gosh, you hit the nail on the head. Thank you so much for saying that. And I want to share more of that and create a space where, hey, it's okay. It's okay to struggle at home. It's okay to struggle inside of your body, inside of your brain. And we all have these moments of real low, no matter what you see on the outside.
Yeah. I think that it's so important too for people to understand that every single human being alive has felt anxiety. Every human being alive has probably felt depression. I think there's this fear within people that if I say that I feel like this and I'm going to be labeled as she's depressed, she has anxiety. Once you start to realize that even happiness is situational. Happiness isn't something that stays with you all the time. It's a fleeting feeling. Anxiety can be a fleeting feeling. And depression as well, that we all share and that we all have. Instead of this label that's constantly on you, I had someone come and talk on my podcast, and we had an entire hour conversation. And it wasn't until I turned off record that this person started telling me about their anxiety. And I was like, whoa. And again, it's okay. It's on your time.
Yeah.
But for people to know that it's okay that Tracy was depressed in January. It doesn't mean, oh, it's a moment in time. And the beauty of it is that you acknowledge it for yourself, for Mark, for your children, for that entire ripple effect that is the world you're in. And you figure it out and you move forward and you continue to grow. It's the beauty of being human.
Yeah. And also, essentially, usually, that's coming back. And then how do you handle it even the next time? How do you welcome it? How do you nourish it while it's there? And then how do you appreciate when it's not?
Yeah.
I think there's so much to be said about that instead of just ruminating on it while it's here.
No, I totally agree. Okay, so let's talk about what do you see for Lighthouse? I know you'd mentioned you want to do an ebook and you have some other things cooking, but when you look out, what's on the horizon?
The silliest thing, so when I started it, I'm like, okay, we do home wellness. People are still like, what the hell is home wellness? I'm like, it's wellness inside of your home.
That's
people.
Actually a good way to put it.
Yeah. And I still get questions like, well, what do you do? I'm like, how much time do you have? The decluttering, the product selection, the cleaning, et cetera. But right now I am working on an ebook specifically to the appliances. Part of me doesn't even want to put this out because it's going to ruin your life. Because I'll go to someone's house and take a sip of wine and the glass. Have you ever the glass smells? And I'm like, oh my God. And then I just think about what's in their dishwasher filter. And then I can make myself sick. Not throwing up, but I'm like, oh my God. It's going to ruin your life. You're going to start seeing things.
First of all, one quick question about the dishwasher. You always rinse the dishes before you put them in the dishwasher.
You have to.
You don't have a lick of food. I never have a lick of food on anything. I think that has to help a little bit.
Yeah, but the manufacturers say not to because then your smart machine won't put out as much pressure or as much power or release as much detergent if it's already clean. Bullshit. I hate appliances. I want my own line of appliances that are easy to use, easy to clean.
There you go.
Whoever's listening, that's like dream.
Okay. Let's call Whirlpool.
But I know, right? Bosch,
or whoever.
maybe.
Yeah. Whirlpool, what am I, 90?
I'm like, okay. And cut. Whirlpool. Of all the brands of
Is Whirlpool even a thing anymore?
It is, unfortunately.
Okay. Oh, you're shaming Whirlpool?
Shame.
What if they call you tomorrow?
They won't.
Okay. We'll see. Okay, so the dishwasher thing, I always think of you when I load and unload my dishwasher.
Yeah, but do you clean your filter?
No, well, you'll probably have to look at it before you leave.
I won't.
I'm not showing you my washer.
I can't believe
there's rust in my washer.
Okay, and enter my anxiety.
Let's do this. Tell me the top 3 worst situations that you've seen. You don't have to name names or anything like that.
The first one I want to name because, oh my God. I mean, I was duped. This was could have been a legal situation, to be honest, my first year. This person who presented a way on social media and hired me, and I should have, a lot of the consults were canceled last minute. I should have kind of listened to my intuition, but I just thought, nope. And she's connected and she knows a lot of people. And I went out there into a very dilapidated house. Dead mice, mouse poop, children not attending school, a husband just off from work, financial issues. It smelled, I mean, it was awful. And again, I should have listened, but I was making the best out of that situation. And I mean, I do not work in houses like this. But
they mistook you for the hoarders squad.
Not necessarily, because again, they are at SOS, they're at Legree House. They have crystal blankets from Paloma in their dining room.
Wait, and this was their house?
Restoration hardware
in their kitchen. Their house.
This was their house. With a Instagram profile that's toxic free living and mother of all this and wellness and whatever. And yeah, so that was the worst of them all.
Did you follow through with it or did you leave?
Well, after the second day, and they still haven't paid me. And then what I realized is they're con artists and they have duped, I can't tell you how many businesses around Columbus. I mean, yeah. Well, I'll talk to you after.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
I'll give you all the tea.
This button goes green, let's sip on some tea. Okay, what's another one?
It's they're not the worst for me because I'm just so excited that I can almost dig them out of it.
But the help, what kind of help did they need?
I mean, huge. I went up to Michigan. There was this humongous, gorgeous, stunning lake house. And it was just me and this woman. And I mean, our backs were broken by the end. They put my children up and my husband in this Airbnb. And I mean, from sun up to sundown, it was 8 to 5 every day, just working head to toe in this house that had been, in the family for 80 plus years, just clearing out all the stuff. I remember this mile-long hallway and we just had bags and bags and bags. And then we had to carry it out. The garage was on this path back to the house. And I mean, I think we did 6 dumpsters in 4 days. I mean, just the amount of stuff coming out of this house. That has to feel
so good.
There's no greater feeling. There is no greater feeling. It's unbelievable. And then tears at the end. I mean, she's crying, this beautiful 60-year-old woman crying, throwing her arms around me, calling me her sister. I couldn't have done this without you. You have changed my life. That happens a lot more. So it's not necessarily, when you say top 3, it's more about, the severity of the house plays a part, but it's the severity of how it's affecting relationships. Mm-hmm. I sit down with husbands and wives who are at odds about this type of thing. It's driving the wife crazy. The husband thinks it's a waste of money. I mean, we have essentially therapy sessions and tears are shed. And I understand, I mean, it's a fairly new concept to outsource this kind of help. I get that. I'm really trying to stop normalizing clutter and start normalizing the outsourcing of the help.
Mm-hmm.
And, we're not there yet, but it affects relationships. It affects how we parent. It affects how we carry ourselves. It's, a time suck. It affects our mental health. I try to help so many people, but I'm one person,
Yeah.
But having those conversations openly is so helpful and beneficial. And when I see the after, it's only tangible after. I can sit here and be like, Keri, I'm going to blow your mind. I'm going to go through your kitchen. We can do this. A lot of people think, well, I can do that by myself. Well, you're not.
Mm-mm.
And once it's done, like I could have 100 of my clients sit in this chair and talk about the benefits of this work, because you can touch it, see it, feel it, taste it. When it's done, it is just like the most rewarding, amazing, feel good. And they say they feel lighter too. It's not even just me being like, hey, how you feeling? They're like, God, it feels so much better. It's a huge project that's been looming over them, and they need to get it done. And someone comes in and holds their hand and holds them accountable and does it with them. Can't put money on that. Can't put a price.
No, and the emotional component of people's stuff.
Mm-hmm. Huge.
Being in the family for 80 years, this house in Michigan, it's not as straightforward as this woman just throwing things away. You kind of have to have someone to help guide you and negotiate with you, and because it's just stuff, but sometimes it's people's like memories, and they have a hard time getting rid of that kind of thing.
Absolutely. There's a lot of reasons you keep things. Financial. Oh, I spent all this money on it. Aspirational. One day I'm going to use this here. I could wear this, at my daughter's wedding. I'm going to have grandchildren. Emotional, sentimental, ego. There's so many reasons, trends change, styles change, our size changes. There's so many reasons that we think to keep stuff, and subconsciously, what's it doing to us? It's just weighing us down.
Weighing you down.
Mm-hmm.
So Tracy, how can people get a hold of you?
You can find me on Instagram.
Is that the best way?
Yeah. I mean, I could give out my digits. Everybody has them.
I didn't know if you had an email.
I do have an email, but just Instagram is
just
linked
slide in
up.
the DMs.
Yeah.
And obviously we'll tag your Instagram.
Yeah.
Any closing thoughts that you'd like to share about the business, your hopes and dreams, any shout outs?
I just want people to know, if they are struggling at home and they maybe don't know why, this could be a huge driving force behind it. I think it's pushed to the back burner a lot. But what's interesting about sitting here with you, the co-owner of System of Strength, my second home, like we outsource our fitness to you. Keep moving. We are stronger together. I've heard Darcy say 1,000 times, like, you carved out this 1 hour. Like, there are so many similarities with what I'm doing, but like SOS is cool. And like organizing isn't. Like SOS is sexy, organizing and cleaning is nerdy. Just want to set the record straight. Yeah. Right here, right now, cleaning and organizing is sexy as fuck.
Sexier than we are.
Sexier than SOS. No, but it's sexy, and embrace it and know that there is help.
Yeah.
And prioritize this shit the way you prioritize happy hour and getting your stupid nails done and your hair highlighted and shopping at all the best places. Like, dig deeper.
You're also paving sort of a niche here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that you're the first person to ever do this, but you're like, especially in Columbus, this is a new thing. And so how amazing for you to be blazing that trail. But for everybody else out there, it's like, yeah, when you walk into your home, if you're not kicking your shoes off and feeling like this is my safe haven and I feel really good in this home, ask yourself why.
Yeah.
And it really, because to me, even if I don't have a clean closet or if my room upstairs feels messy, like you feel that inside. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's really, like, if you haven't thought about doing something like that, I think Tracy's your girl.
And, I always say, like, you can pay a mortgage. It doesn't mean you own your house.
Yeah.
Like, your house can own you, eat you alive, swallow you up whole.
Oh, yeah.
And that is going to crush you.
Yep.
And so just be aware of that and honor those emotions.
Yep.
And call your girl.
Call Tracy. Another thing, if you're out there and you have something stewing inside of you and it's your own personal resistance holding you back, fear, anxiety, I'm not good enough, everybody else can do it, but I can't. I would really challenge you to step up to the plate and come off, like just stand on the ledge. I'm not saying jump without, taking a calculated risk, but if you have, something and you want to talk to someone, I mean, Tracy's also, a very good source. DM Tracy, DM me, tell somebody about your idea who you feel like will foster that and help you through it, because you can do it. I've done it. Tracy's done it. So many people have done it. So, if somebody else can do it, why can't you?
Let's say that again. You can do it.
You can do it.
I mean, I get these DMs all the time. I got one last night. Hey, let's meet up for happy hour. I want to talk to you about this. We are here to support you.
100%.
You got this, and we are going to listen, and we want to help you.
You have to believe in yourself first. Okay, guys, for everybody out there in podcast land, please follow me on YouTube if you haven't already. You can find me on Spotify or Apple as well. Tracy, it has been an absolute pleasure, and I cannot wait to make out with you after we hit this record button.
Is it the fireball, or do you really?
Is that the fireball talking?
I'm proud of you. Thank you so much for having me.
I am equally as proud of you. Before we leave, we are working with Tracy's company in the month of March at System of Strength. So you will see, for Tracy's followers, we're going to have some deals to bring your booty into SOS if you're a first timer. We're also going to be selling Tracy's amazing detergent in the studio, and we'll be doing a couple of other fun things. And my stuff is soaking upstairs in my bathroom as we speak. So you guys will think I'm even grosser than you probably already do. All right. Until next time, be kind to yourself, believe in yourself, and keep moving. Hit it, bitch.